I went back to basics like I'm a beginner. Your favorite show. Hey Gloria, what's going on? I'm trying to like set up my keyword foolishness. All right, TikTok. Send folks in here that are interested in beginner drawing. Send folks in here that are interested in learning an easy drawing approach. Send folks that are in here looking to learn to draw easily. We're building sketches using simple shapes. I need to finish this. Maybe I'll finish it on the next one. And today we're going to be working a little bit. Hey, Black Lotus, good morning. Thank you for getting your heart me. I'm going to be working a little bit on, we're going to be working a little bit on, I see your message, Gloria. Um, let me, yeah, I think when I change the light, the webcam is on autofocus, so I think when I change the light and the stuff underneath, it takes a second, well, more than a second to focus. Yeah, I think it's this webcam because of the autofocus. All those changes that I make right there in the beginning, I think it throws it off. It's not the the most it's not the oh no, I appreciate it, Gloria. Um a lot because sometimes folks are don't mind it, so they don't say anything. No, I appreciate it totally. But I think that might be it. But that just reminds me that frankly what I need to do is make sure that I before I go live, I need to make sure the camera focuses on whatever I'm going to start with. Hey Be Easy, hey Blondie, good morning. All right, y'all. So next on the animal list is iguanas. So today, remember, I said I was going to try to go back and forth between further refining some of these sketches and then also starting new sketches so that we're at different phases during the live stream of the process that I'm going down. So refined sketch, final drawing that I'm adding detail to. We'll work on that a little bit today. And then we're going to start brand new. Let me get some paper. We're going to start brand new with iguanas because that is what was chosen by the crew for the next animal. So we were doing horses. Now I did those basic sketches and now we're going to move on to iguanas. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, even just looking for a reference photo for iguanas was not a pleasant experience for me. And I don't have a problem with animals. Black Lotus, you all came in rapid fire. I know it's four of us, but everybody came in and are greeting each other rapid fire. Yeah, I don't know if I like this setup that I did here, but we are going to go ahead and work with it. All right, I've got my little. Oh, look at y'all getting these taps up. All right, y'all, let's get started. Let's find an iguana. Oh, you know what I realized? I don't have the iguanas on this phone. I have to send them. Oh, Gloria, you know what's so funny? I have yikes. I have a screenshot of your AI summary in my in my pictures. Uh-oh. I hear madness happening outside with the cats already. I'm not in the mood for them today. Okay, y'all, I have the iguanas here. I'm starting with this. No, it wasn't this one. I'm starting with this one, y'all. Can you see that? Is the camera too far? Should I put the camera down? 504 DC, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Gloria, you didn't sleep? What time did you go? What time did you stay live until? Y'all, is the camera too far away? Do I need to make it closer? You can't see the pic. All right. I think for the drawing, I need to go back to my original. It looks like y'all can't see the reference photo to me. Well, I mean, I can lift it up. Oh, you know what? Let's see how it works. This is our iguana today. Y'all, I'm not excited. You see green. When I lift it up, you can see it, but if I have it down here, you cannot see it. So to me, that means maybe do I need to bring the camera a little bit further closer to us? Let me know what y'all want. Doesn't matter to me either way, but I can't hold this up. You should I bring it closer down like I usually have it? I changed it up this morning. All right, it will be less, it would be more than a smidgen, but um I'm going to try to control what you actually see while I'm making the change. Yeah, because the camera is going to be going all over the place, I think. Well, maybe not. I think I can keep it. All right, that's the first step of the change. I'm just moving my little rig here around. I had it on the tripod still from the from I had it still on the tripod from our session from our session yesterday from the carving. You like what word? Smidgen? Smidgen is a good word. Raylene, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Gloria, thank you for the fluffy hearts. I really love this thing, but one thing I gotta tell you, it's very like I have to move so many parts of it to get it to do what I want it to do. Now I have to move myself. So let's push the tripod back and I can come here, and now we have, now I don't know if I'm too close, but we'll work with it. Let's do this. Yeah, I have one of those, the camera rig thing that has like 50 different joints, which actually ends up being really nice for views for content, but to get it fixed in a situation like this creates a challenge. All right, y'all. I think this might be okay. I might have to move my stuff over a little bit, but I think y'all can see. It's a closer view. You can see the reference photo a little bit better. And then you can also see the camera rig, but that's okay, I guess. So, hey Michelle, welcome back. Thank you for getting your heart me, Black Lotus. Thank you for the roses. You said this is much better, a much better level. You see the vision. Ah, Michelle, does that mean you can't hang with us for a little bit? You said he looks like a baby. He might be a baby. I don't know what he is, but um oh y'all, you know what I didn't do? Oh, I did pop it out. I'm sorry, y'all. I thought that I left the YT. Mm. Like I said, when VXD, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. You're here a bit. All right. When I was searching for the reference photos, y'all, it was not an exciting experience for me. I don't mind. I really don't mind lizards at all. Even the giant iguanas that are the size of dogs, that some we have down here, I don't mind them. But looking at multiple photos of them was definitely freaking me out. Oh, Michelle, thank you for the finger hearts and for the roses. Y'all, where is my sharpener? That's an important part of this process. I have to get another sharpener. Where is my sharpener? Y'all, I'll be right back because I have to find my sharpener. When I say I'll be right back, you know that this room is only about 2 seconds big. So it's not like I have to go far. Oh, I found it. It was tucked. It was tucked away behind my pencil holder thing. I could have Black Lotus. Look, I have a bootleg piece of tape over this this sharpener. This sharpener is a good one too, but this one I love because it has the 4 sizes. You're right, Black Lotus. I could have gone outside and walked around a bit and found me several iguanas. So let's be clear, y'all. I mean, I don't walk as much as I used to, but I'd like take walks. I used to walk daily. I would say to you, in a year, I probably encountered 1 or 2 iguanas on the walk. There are lots of iguanas down here, but they're not wildly running around everywhere. So I'm not saying that there aren't places where lots of them are, but so like my parents, not where my mom, where you all saw me at my mom's house the other day, but a complex that they had lived in before. Oh, y'all, it was intense. Um, those iguanas definitely were the size of small dogs. And I was like, and they were just around. And I was like, what is this? And I have lived here for quite a number of years and I never saw iguanas that size before. So that was my first time seeing them just, around. So it's not really bad. Let's put it that way. All right, y'all. So I had, like I've done this before because I feel a lot of pressure when I have to process some stuff sometimes when I'm like in the moment. So I kind of took a look at the photos before and made a general, like, I think this is what I'm going to do with my shapes. So I'm going to break it up into the different pieces of the iguana's body. I'm going to break the shapes up that way. So the reason so when I'm doing like the inanimate objects, it's so much easier for me to process it that way. But I have to intentionally think about it um, for the animals. So I'm going to break this up into probably too many shapes, but that's how that works for me. Um, and then we'll refine at a later stage. So this is just going to be our little our shape iguana. And y'all, I like this little wood stump, tree stump thing that it's on. I might put that in to the final. All right, I'm going to separate the head and the neck. This somebody knocking on my door. Give me a second, y'all. I don't think they're at my door. I hear not. Sorry, I'm sorry, y'all. I hear knocking, but nobody's actually at my door. And there's a car at the end of my driveway. You said you want to be nosy too. Yeah. All right, let me go. Let me check one more time. But I don't think they're at my door. I hate that, y'all. Oh, somebody is there. Give me a second. I'm back, y'all. Sorry. I'm sure I'll get a puzzle or something. Okay. You, you, Gloria, you can get the update. Um, Trep VZ, welcome in. The the person was parked at the end of my driveway, and I saw him, and he looked like he was at my garage door. Wow, I am out of shape. I just ran. I ran down the stairs. Anyway, he was here for my neighbor, not me, which is why I didn't see him at my front door, but because I saw him coming from where it looked like it was my driveway, he said, "Oh no, 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 I was knocking next door. Why did I hear it so loud?" Anyway, the person wasn't here for me. It's not a fun update. Just a regular update. Sorry, y'all. I don't get people at the door very often, and it sometimes is weird for me. All right, back to the iguana. I'm putting a triangle here. Maybe I should put a whatever this is, a rectangle looking thing and a triangle here. Let's do that. I don't love unexpected visitors either, Gloria, and I'll tell y'all this. If I get a visitor that is unexpected, I'm eyeballing this one, y'all. So I'm looking at slight angles here. Wait, I'm starting with the wrong thing already. If I get a visitor that I know that is unexpected, you better believe sometimes I do not answer my door. Because why didn't you tell me you were coming here? I'm not I'm I'm not that kind of social person. If you're a visitor and you're someone that I know, you said you're hiding like it's not your house. All right, yeah, I'm starting here with my line because for me, that's just the easiest way to process this shape, right? And as usual, I'm throwing down a shape, an initial shape, and then all the other shapes I'll do in size proximity to it. So we're going to end up with a pretty decent sized little bug here, little reptile. Black Lotus. You said you're glad you found out so you don't show up unexpected. Well, see, that's the thing. If I know you're coming, you are totally welcome. But I'm not good with unexpected. Hey Charlie, welcome. Good morning. Charlie, we are. Oh, you said don't disguise yourself as a stranger. You would have to be a stranger with like a clipboard in your hand. So like you might be coming from the city about something. That's the only reason actually I went downstairs because he had a clipboard in his hand. He looked like an official. Now, if he was dangerous, I would have been a clown because I just busted out my front door and ran out there, like I didn't even take any precaution. So good thing, y'all. It was kind of funny. All right, so if I was to just do a little bit of figuring out some angle stuff here, like angles and also like I since I drew this line as this initial neckline, that is about it's not quite the length now this side of this because it's gonna be like a rectangle, I guess. or whatever you call it when it's in a on an angle. Um, but it's about 1.5 this. So I'm going to just estimate my 1.5 here. And so I'm going to put it right about here, like this end of it to this end of it. So that's how I'm looking at it. Thank you for getting your heart, me, Charlie, and for the fluffy hearts. Gloria, now I'm obsessed with these fluffy hearts. Oh, y'all, you know I got the 3 gift goal. You know what made me check yesterday was um Glow and Gloria, you both had it. So I decided to check. All right, y'all. So the top, if you notice here, the top of our little head is, it's not quite a straight line, but it is close to it. So I'm just dipping. I'm going to put a triangle shape here, or I don't have to put a triangle. I can actually just decide. Um, Actually, I am going to put a triangle. Sorry, y'all. My brain is processing the things in the moment. So we're not always going to be perfect. Precious, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Akamizdia. Yes, Precious, absolutely. Spot on, friend. Spot on. All right, so there is a slight slope there, so I'm going to just put that in. It's not going to be a straight on line there. And I will close it out like this, and then in the next level of the refining I'll do the appropriate curves. Lizzie B, welcome in. Thank you for joining. All right, y'all. So I'm here, and I think I'm going to go ahead and do a neck section. Again, for me, I'm always in this place where oh, look at that. And now my ring neighbor alerts are going off. Let me put it on do not disturb. I always forget that. Jazzy Fresh Fades, welcome in. Forever, welcome in. You're learning to do overhand grip and you miss tripod grip real bad. You're just, you're learning because you want to, or? One, two, three. So this is about a third. Yeah, I'm not bad, y'all. I'm eyeballing that not so badly. I'm making this way bigger than I want to. I'll tell you that. And I didn't put my... This looks about a 60-degree angle to me. Michelle, you said I'm in love with what I do so passionately. I don't mind it. I'll tell you that. Duck Thor, welcome in. Thank you for joining. I don't mind it, friend. I actually am very I am, now that I've started the practice in this way, like publicly, now that I'm doing it and folks are on the live stream engaging. Ah, Precious, I see. Um, for tattoo work, that's awesome. Um, So I I definitely feel better about it. Let's put it that way, Michelle. Because and for you, Precious, and the other new folks in the room and folks that might be outside the room. My name is Leanne. I'm an illustrator and a printmaker. I'm primarily a printmaker. And one of the things, Rashida, welcome in. Thank you for joining. And one of the things that I promised myself was that I was going to do a back to basics practice because I've been illustrating in a very specific way for the last several years. And I'm trying to come up with some new fresh ideas. I have a couple different styles that I use for kind of different types of work. And I do want to do some editorial illustration work. And I want to start working on a portfolio for that. But I said to myself that I was going to commit to like a back to basics practice, and so I am drawing. I'm starting a drawing practice. I've started a drawing practice like I am a virtual beginner. Now, there are lots of things that are involved with that, and lots of things come up. But what I am trying to do is pretend that I don't know the steps that are further along the way. So right now I'm working on breaking things into simple shapes and creating like a final image at some point from that. Thanks for the follow, Precious. Um, so I'm creating some final images from that. So there are different things that I'll do on the live stream in terms of that practice. I created is Bala here. I did finally create. I hadn't been doing it based on a curriculum, but I did finally create a curriculum for myself that I'm going to follow. Um, but I'm going to interchange it with what we've been working on here. So a good example is this. I don't have the like the we started with basic shapes for this. Then we went in, so the blue was the basic. Then we went in and refined the sketch, and 3D forms are on there, Precious. But at this point, I haven't done any 3D forms as a beginner. I don't know perspective as a beginner. So literally what we've been doing is I'm building out these sketches with simple shapes and putting them in proximity to each other. And that has created some depth, of course, because that's how it works. But at this point, as a beginner, I haven't done my 3D forms and I haven't done my my perspective yet. So yeah. I mean inevitably, hey Miss Darlene, good morning on Written Unstoppable. Inevitably, even though I try not to skip ahead, even though I try not to skip ahead, you know, um drawing is not new to me. So there are certain things, of course, that probably I naturally do that probably I wouldn't have done as a beginner. But I'm trying my best to not to skip ahead. I'm trying my best to go deep with the practice. And then also I'm trying to your point, Michelle, I'm trying to share the beginner aspect of the practice and why I'm doing some of the things that I'm doing. Precious, you said there you're gonna just keep practicing it, friend. That's the thing, is that you just got to go deep with it until you get it's boring and it's tedious potentially, but yeah. And Precious, one of the things that I seen here all the time, and for the folks that haven't heard my spiel before, hey 669, how are you, that haven't heard my spiel before, um I have a very, I feel very strongly about folks getting their resources and their perspective from various sources. So as someone that is, if you're someone learning, I mean, this is how I feel about things in life. But since we're talking specifically about drawing and art, I feel like if you're like Precious, in my mind, if you're looking at a couple different options for tutorial, it might be helpful to get to look at like 3 or 4 different styles. You have to go to your other account, Rashida. Oh, no problem. No problem at all. Thank you. I'm doing well, 669. Hanging in there. Hanging in there. Should I be I'm going to start calling you who? I don't mind saying it, well, because that day I was like, I'm going to call you who? But yeah, so I always feel like try to get your resources from a couple different places for a couple different reasons, right? Everyone's brain processes things differently, and yes, there are standard like rules around technique, but there are ways to process things for you that could make it a little bit easier, and someone else. You said I look like I'm doing more than hanging in there. All right, I'm good. I'm good. but but there could be ways that someone else presents the information. Hey TG, presents the information that could like cross that threshold of difficulty for you. And it could just be their style of presentation, not even that they're giving different information, but the style of the way that they're approaching the tutorial part of it or whatever it is. So I am a big like I'm I am a big encourager of folks getting their information from other places. And to that end, what happens in here a lot, Precious, is there are lots of folks in here that have far more experience than I do, have been doing their practice for far longer, and they drop their tips in the chat also. So you do get a chance to get some varied perspective in here, or some varied approach, or some varied tips. But also yeah, because listen, the day and age that we're in, there are tutorials everywhere, videos, books, the YT, you know how it works. So there are opportunities for you to get those varied perspectives easily, I would say. But friend, just keep practicing them. Um, I'm trying to remember my plan. They're coming soon for me. The volume shapes. So I am going to be practicing them soon. Hey True, good morning. Miss Darlene, you watch my live for 500 minutes. Let's do some cheers. Yeah, remember, if you are leveling up and I don't see it, you have to tell me. Uh-oh, TG, let's talk about that. What are they doing? Are people contradicting what you're saying? I got to tell you. Is that what's happening? Am I adding contour lines? I don't know. I'm not sure I know what you're asking me, Precious. So once I get let me see if I can show you. It's difficult for me to I drew over all the basic shape ones, which really is annoying, I suppose. Okay, let me show you some of this. So like, do you mean like this, the contour lines here of the refining? Or you mean, am I adding like curved contour lines? So what I'm doing, I'm saying I'm breaking, I don't know if this helps. When I'm breaking the shapes up, I'm trying to break it into as simple shapes as possible. So circles, triangles, trapezoids might be the extent of what I'm doing. But yeah, so literally how I'm doing it is identifying the shape, and then I'm laying down an initial shape, and then everything is in proximity and proportion to that initial shape. And so that's how I'm getting um, some fair accuracy um, with where placement is. So the initial sketch is typically just a lot of sharp edges. And then when I go in, like here, you can see it here. This is a perfect example. You can see it here. The initial sketch, this was just a basic triangle shape right here. And then when I go in to refine the sketch, I go into the adding the curves, that the contour curve that should be there, here, that kind of thing. So that's how I'm doing it, because I'm really starting with that basic shape to create the foundation of things, and then going in and adding those curved lines, the outer and inner contours. And even then, some of the additional detail that really gets defined when you start adding value, however you add it, whether you're using color or otherwise, or shading in some way. I haven't added some of the detail, because when I move on to that next step of adding value, the form will reveal itself even more once I add the value. I hope that makes sense. TG, I gotta read all that stuff that you were saying. I can say if you draw a dark line, you might struggle to erase, and then you have someone like, I like to draw that way. That's my style. Yeah. Oh, please don't stop, because you and Precious, again, this is a little bit of I'm approaching it this way because my brain processes it best this way. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not going to approach it in a slightly different way at some point as part of the beginner practice. I probably will, because I do want to explore other things. But that's where the trickiness about being a beginner when you're not really a beginner comes in. I'm approaching it this way because my brain is processing it that way, and that's how my brain processes it. But you can train your brain to process things differently. We know that. So I will potentially approach some of it sometimes in a different way, from just a practice perspective, and just really trying to explore, does it make it, could potentially make it easier for me. So the bottom line is, I am leaving myself open to the possibilities. Now, I'm not saying that sometimes even when folks make suggestions in here, automatically I go into I don't want to do that. Hey love, good morning. Thank you for getting your heart me. How are you? But yeah. TG, please don't stop. I Listen to me. Don't stop posting them. I know there are always people, because people, and that's another. I had so many reasons I didn't want to do this thing on live stream, y'all. Because it doesn't happen frequently, but people drop into the room sometimes, and they drop in just to be like, that's not the way you should be doing it, or that's not the best way to do it, or you obviously don't know what you're doing. Or the other day somebody on the YT was like, your drawings are really ugly. you know like every you're not. And I guess part of the reason y'all hear me saying all the time is that there are multiple approaches there. Oh, Precious, look at what TG wrote about. TG posts some really good, drawing education videos. And all the all the videos are these contrarians jumping in the comments saying things that are the opposite or blah blah blah, when we all know that just like a math problem, these things can be approached in different ways. Are there are there standard ways that are taught? Absolutely. And I'm not saying don't explore them, because sometimes it's good to have a good foundation. But the reality, exactly, best practices but not law. And frankly, when you go into whatever, my favorite thing is when somebody's like, you have to do it this way, and then they're like, oh, but I love the work of this person because they didn't follow the rules. And I'm just like, so it's an interesting road that we're going down. My point of being here is just to remind folks that there are multiple ways to approach this, and you got to figure out the way that works with your brain. You said you have ADHD, so small steps are nice, but your brain has already drawn the piece in your head before. Yeah, Precious, and that's the thing, is that this is what I will say to you, that even as someone that isn't a beginner, that's starting as a beginner, what I've realized for myself is, as tedious as it is to keep doing the same style of the practice down, like that vertical that I decided on, starting with the basic shapes and going down, I have to tell you that my brain has stopped, because I literally have been here every day for weeks looking at the images from the breakdown of the shapes. And again, this is not something I didn't know before. This is not something that I didn't learn before. But because I had been drawing in this way from before, for the last 6 years, I've been skipping the shapes part. Really, my brain had been just going to what I know needs to be the end result, because I had these rules around the specific aesthetic that I had for that stuff. So the practice of looking at the TG, I just read your message. Hey Rocky, the practice of looking at images and breaking it into shapes, the continuous doing of it on a daily basis has been extremely beneficial to changing the way my brain is processing the image. Precious, this is the thing, is that lots of us are in the same place that you are. Um, and the thing is, you have to remind yourself that it's not like you've been doing it every day, and you have to remind yourself that that's why you're doing what you're doing, to start over and now maintain a consistent practice. TG has a video um where they're talking about TG, I don't want to misrepresent it, but I remember when I was watching the video, or maybe it was we were talking about it in here, whatever it was, we were talking about the fact that no matter how far along you are in your process, you need to leave some room, essentially. You need to leave some room in the process, for in your practice, even if it's not daily, but on a fairly regular basis, to go back to some of the basic practice stuff. And even if it's line work, I think that's what we were talking about, TG, and I think you posted a video about it too. And even if it's line work, like practicing your lines, there's a meditative quality about it. We know that. But at the end of the day, it's important to honing your skills still. And it helps you get out of the place where you're always trying to make it be this perfect thing right from the beginning. Precious. And listen, I'm not telling you that this is gonna work. I'm just saying these are some of the ways that could help you to look at it. Here, yeah, TG, you said you're not I had to go back to this. You're not nice. You're nice by choice, not by default. I love that. um it's not even it's so ridiculous, right? But I would say to you, if you can manage to to diffuse the initial vitriol that you want to spew when you read some of the foolishness. Please keep doing the videos because I really love your approach to the videos because they end up being, it feels after hearing what you have to say, it's like, wait a minute, this really isn't as hard as I thought it was, and it's something I could approach. So if you can ignore the fools, please keep posting your videos. True, you said you still hear a lot of the insults about your paintings, but you consider the sources. You know, true, I hear you. And I think a lot of us, and a lot of folks in general, especially when it comes to art, and really frankly, things that you're passionate about that don't fit into um, the folks' idea of what a career path or a path to pursue for from a revenue generating perspective. I think that folks, we have to also remember, like you said, consider the sources, but we have to also remember that lots of folks don't have the potential vision that you have. Lots of folks are projecting because frankly lots of folks have wanted to be brave enough to go down this road and haven't been able to. So they reject it and reject anyone that seems to be brave enough to go down that road. And then you also have to remember that the only person that you should be considering in any of it is yourself. The you need to figure out what works for you, what you prefer, what you want to pursue, and compare your progress and your growth with where you were 2 weeks ago versus where anybody else is or where anybody else thinks you should be. And I'm saying all these things like, oh, just do that. Y'all, I know it is not easy. It is a constant thing. Y'all watch me process some of this stuff on the live stream sometimes. You can see me. I stop and I'm like, because I'm like initially rejecting some things, or I'm reacting to some things in a visceral way because I also have those challenges. I talk about the things that we should do easily, but it doesn't mean that I do them easily. So I go through all of this stuff in my head on a daily basis. Y'all, I graduated. I was encouraged to be an artist my whole life since I was a kid. That was not something my parents ever said no to. Yet I went to college and came out with an art degree, but I still spent 20 years in corporate. So, you know what I'm saying? So, all right, I'm TG, I'm crying, and you said you want to dance. You can dance. But I actually, maybe I shouldn't tell you to stop because you'll go viral and then you get your people on your side. Oh, Precious. No, no, no. Wait. Precious, are you talking about giving up? No. Oh, I'm like, no, 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 Precious. I didn't. No, no, no. Rocky, I was like, please, no, no, no. Did I miss that? I'm running my mouth and I'm like, no, Precious, please don't give up. You think insecurity can hinder our ability to step out of comfort, and having that challenge hurts the ego. I was there. You couldn't tell me anything when I was 20, but now I don't mind advice. Totally. Totally, TG. And the thing is that it hurts you from that perspective because you're like, I don't want to take any advice from you. But it also, like for me, for instance, the ego part showed up where I did not want people to think that I was a beginner. And I didn't want anybody to be looking at me like, oh, she doesn't know what she's doing. And so I initially never wanted to show this practice in a public way. So it has been super, like, yeah, the emotional aspect of this has been wild. But I'm not changing it. I'm showing up here with this, y'all, because the things that I have learned about myself, forget about the drawing stuff. The things that I have learned about myself and the to TG, to your point of, even sometimes when I, even though I'm saying y'all take the suggestions and you run with whatever works for you, sometimes in that initial moment I'm like, I don't know, I don't want to, but I take it because that's part of what I'm working on. Like, this is, it is, yes, I'm working on my drawing skills, but I'm working on myself as part of this, because this thing is making me face a lot of things about myself that, I'm not saying that you don't. Art Walker, look at Art Walker walking in at the perfect moment. The whole journey, yes, and that's important. And you learn so many things about who you are, and make decisions about who you want to be in the process too. Oh God. I'm surprised I got a puzzle because I'm running my mouth and I'm not doing anything. I'm not drawing, y'all. Oh. The puzzle is very hard on here because my mouse, there we go. Wait, let me see. Precious, you said you're trying to surround yourself with art people. And Precious, surround yourself with art people that have an open outlook about this, because I will tell you this, Precious, right now. And y'all, please, if you have different experiences, share them, because I'm not trying to. This is my perspective, and this is my. I don't even know if it's opinion. This has been my experience. Not every room, because there are lots of people in here that I go into their room and I don't have that experience. But I have gone into some live streams on here where someone that is a potential beginner, or someone that is approaching a practice after having been away from it for a long time, or even if you haven't been, if you are someone that you might be hypersensitive to certain things because in the past you were told that you weren't an artist and all of that stuff. Or folks have said negative things about your work, so you're hesitant to go back to it. Some of these rooms are brutal, y'all, because they talk about beginners in very negative ways. And there's a lot of ego floating around in some of the rooms. Let's be clear, some. Um, and so what I would say to you, Precious, is if you're exploring this world of getting in, in integrating yourself into the community of folks here, not here in this room, but in general, to keep yourself motivated, just be mindful of some of the things that are being said, and know that you have other options. If it doesn't feel good to you, if it doesn't give you the boost that you feel you might need, get out of there, because there are lots of them. True, you said you were told you were an artist at just 3 years. Yeah, and that's the thing, is that we lots of life things also disrupt our progress. And I don't mean to use the horse analogy, but get back on the horse, y'all. Who was I talking to yesterday about this? Yeah, I get inspired in this room all the time. When we start having these conversations, it propels me forward also. It reminds me of why I'm, especially when I start talking about why I'm doing it, I start to remind my own self about what I should be do as I say, not as I do. Because again, I go down this road on a daily basis multiple times. You wanted to be an animator working for Disney, but your dad told you it wasn't profitable, so you went to IT. Well, Precious, guess what? You can still be in animation working with Disney. That's all I'm saying. You follow that path. Oh, see? You said that's why you. Oh my God, Rocky. That's like all caps. That's why you realize that you kind of hate going live. I'm constantly posting uncorrected images. This demonstrates reality. Yes, Art Walker. Perfect. So, Precious, I'm telling you this right now. I am 40. I keep saying 47. I'm going to be 47 in May. And I am literally starting this over so that because I want to do editorial illustration. So I am starting this from scratch so that, and when I say I'm creating, I'm not trying, my intent is not to have an editorial illustration portfolio in 2 months. I'm using the entire year to do my back to basics practice, to push myself in ways that I wouldn't have pushed myself before, to explore tools that I've decided I hate years ago, to explore tools that I've never touched, to make marks that I haven't made, and figure out what I want that style to look like. And then I'm going to start doing my style and then create my portfolio. I'm not gonna be pitching to for editorial illustration work at the very least until next year. And I'm not young. So you can still do that if that's really what you want to do. It's so hard to work, focus, get in the zone, but also pay attention to the live and engage. I had a woman at church that decided she was going to start painting, and all her work looks like. Are you saying all your work looks like yours? True? You said there are snobs in every field out there. That is right. You said, yeah. I say crash. I say I crash out, but not on beginners ever. And I wouldn't bash my own work on live either. But TG, what you're saying about like the reaction. Bala, did I say hi? Hi, Bala. Tamika, did I say hello? I don't think I did. I'm sorry, y'all. I was running my mouth and I didn't say hello to y'all. Um, what you are talking about in terms of um what you're talking about in terms of your reaction to these folks, but that's the thing, is that these folks are the folks that we're talking about. These folks are the folks that are like, what you're saying is wrong. But that's the thing. It like you said, if your approach is different, good for you. Do it your way. That's okay. I'm not saying do it my way. What you are doing is giving folks another perspective. You're giving folks another perspective that we need. I mean, Ankush, give me a chance to respond to you. You literally said hello 30 seconds ago. You're enjoying the conversation. I was good. I'm glad you are, Tamika. I was just like, wait a minute. I didn't say hi. Um, Rereading is so important. Wait. Did somebody say the lizard is missing its body? Oh, you said we're distracting her. Oh, Precious. Y'all, we gotta let Precious know. Precious, this is the standard practice in this room. Y'all are not distracting me. I love to run my mouth and I love to be distracted. So don't worry. Don't worry about that part, Precious. Don't worry about that part, Precious. We everyone is eagerly distracting me because this is what we do in here. We go off on multiple tangents, and when I say tangents, just off, we're talking about drawing the lizards and the whatever now. But in general, We talk about lots of things in here and lots of non-art related things as well. So you said you love when I snap off on something. See, Precious, I'm telling you. TG, see you later. Goodbye. I'll see you in the TikTok streets. You said you've had people trash your tutorials. You said you invite them into the live stream to show them, to show how. Of course, they never accept the invitation because the keyboard gangsters are just throwing the jabs, and that's the thing. Y'all, to that point, Precious, Art Walker is a great person to look at his content to see, to get another perspective on like tutorials. When I, earlier I was telling you, Art Walker has um does awesome tutorials. He's pausing on his lives for right now, but if you go to, you still have your YouTube YT, whatever you want to say. You still have the YT up, right? Art Walker, like with your full tutorials on there. Hey, Coach Jen. So you can check out his YT too, Precious. He has awesome tutorials there, like the full live stream run, so you can see the whole thing. And he stays focused on what, like the part of the anatomy or whatever it is he's drawing. He stays focused on it for the whole stream. It's not quite like what's happening here. Jen, is it something you want to put in here or you want to send me a message? Hey, Agony, good morning. All right, y'all. Precious reminded us that we are here for something. Um, this is the, oh, wait. You know what? I just saw that Agony leveled up, but be easy. You didn't say anything, and I saw that you leveled up. What was it? This is for you, be easy. Wait. I think it said level 14. Why these sound effects always want to mess me up? I'm trying to have a flow here. All right, here we go. That's for you, be easy. Congratulations and thank you for being a supportive part of the community and leveling up. Okay, now Agony just leveled up. This is for you. Thank you for leveling up in the room. And thank you for being a supportive part of this community. Have a great day, Michelle. Look at you. Michelle, you stayed far longer than you said you would. All right, let me make sure I'm not missing anything. You said you're sitting at your drawing board drawing circles. Precious, we like to hear that. That's for you, Precious. We like to hear that. Jen, did you hear me? Do you want to ask here now or you want to send me a message? Either is fine with me. You know that. So just either send me the message or you can drop whatever it is in the chat. Maybe other people can weigh in too. It's up to you. All right, y'all. Let me get back to this lizard. And now, like, oh, all right. You said you asked it before. I didn't see it. You think maybe you got filtered? You sent it. All right, I'll look. I'll check the messages. Because maybe you got filtered. I don't see. Oh yeah. All right. I'll check the message because I don't think I saw it. You need help with your live setup. All right. I'll check the message from. I know you did. I have it. Did I send you my number back? I might not have. Jen, I might not have. Trust me. That's very likely. Now that I know you. Yeah, okay. All right. We'll rectify that. Let me see if you sent me a message, so you'll be at the top of the inbox. Y'all know that my memory isn't great. So there's a lot of reminding that needs to happen. You hear me? You hear me, Blondie? It's like I have to remind y'all to remind me because I don't remember. All right, let's get back to the lizard. Um, Norm, welcome in. Thank you for joining. You know what's weird? These point things are weird. Our Walker has no points, and you've put so many comments in the chat. That's what is happening. Bala put more than one comment too. This glitch thing is weird. Whatever. Doesn't matter. But it's stuff I'm supposed to. Well, it's stuff I'm supposed to be paying attention to. No, you have. True. That's why I'm like, it's weird. Oh, you know what, Art Walker? You probably have your stuff. You probably have your stuff turned off. That wouldn't surprise me that you have it turned off. You're like, don't worry about it. You have it turned off. No, true. You can turn it off, you know. You can turn it off for yourself. Your stuff. Yeah, you can turn off you can turn off the ability for your like your points capture in a live stream. Norm, are you asking me a question or are you asking Rocky a question? You two for them thing there. But you probably have it off. That's why. Me. Oh, because it said at Rocky. That's why I was curious. 1 second, Norm. I will give you my whole spiel. I am doing, in general, Norm, I'm doing basic drawing exercises. I am using the live stream to hold myself accountable to doing like beginner drawing practice for myself. Specifically, I am drawing a lizard right now. A baby iguana because in a previous live stream I started drawing. We moved on at the request of folks in the room. We moved on to animals as a subject to practice that I would practice. And we did a couple horses, and now we've moved on to iguanas because that was next on the list as requested by the folks in the room, Norm. So, yeah, that is what I'm drawing. Norm, you came in the middle of one of our. Oh, here. Sorry. Oh, let me see if I can without the. So you don't have as much. Is that good? All right. So, all right, y'all. Let me move on to actually putting these shapes that I see down. Hey, Coach Chantel. Good morning. Thank you for the fluffy hearts. Oh yeah, all my YT people dipped out on me because they were like, "You pay us no attention." You said now to bend it a bit and make it sapient like. Y'all, Agony is drawing this. Um, so you'll be able to see it in Agony's style at some point very soon because Agony takes nowhere near as much time as I do to do these things. Well, y'all, this is a practice that I'm doing and I'm not like drawing through to the end of an image in one shot. So yes, 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 precious. That is what my brain is processing. So that is what I will be doing. The thing that I would do now next is try to figure out whether, and sometimes if you catch me when I'm doing it, I say I'm going to eyeball everything. Sometimes I'm like I'm using the ruler and a little eyeballing. Sometimes I'm like I'm measuring everything with the ruler to make sure I'm getting all like the space proximity like precise. Today I said I'm eyeballing, but things like the angles, even though I've eyeballed what I think the angle might be, I'm gonna I'm gonna actually measure it and try to get it as accurate as I can, because for me, precious, this is part of the practice that I will, we talk about it in here all the time. I will use the tool until I can get to the place where um the muscle, like you build that muscle, and so my eyeballing will be hyper accurate. um Yeah, precious. I'm just gonna measure it off the phone. I have triangle rulers, but I like this little thing, this one here, because it helps. It has angle markings too. So for something like a quick measurement of an angle, it's actually super helpful. Okay, what I'm paying attention to. CB salute. I don't know how to pronounce your handle, friend. Welcome in. Um, I'm watching this account. $100 equals 50,000 TikTok coins. All right. Let me see what goes on here. I mean, I'm pretty sure that I'm looking at the. Oh, got that. And this from I'm taking the angle from here because look, this was I kind of intentionally picked this photo because it's fairly easy, because y'all, this is not going to be the first time. I keep saying it, this is my first one of the lizard, right? So I wanted to pick something fairly easy. So this angle here, this triangle of the block of the wooden stump here, um becomes fairly easy too. I'm going to go ahead and just keep with what I said. I'm eyeballing. I made this far too big. Y'all, when I'm doing this stuff that I don't like to do, the light in the angle, good. Thank you. Thank you. I will say this. I said it earlier. I do not have a problem with these lizard things. I don't. When I'm seeing them in like a controlled one time a few environment, but y'all, going through these references and looking at all of like the lizard bodies, that was not exciting for me at all. All right, so I'm taking this shape from here to here. Now, in a simple way, it's a rectangle, but it's going to end up. I'm putting in the angle here. So I don't know. Does it end up being a little trapezoidy or whatever that's supposed to be? I'm going to do that there. So it is a rectangle, but the sides are on the angle. But the thing is, I'm already seeing that this is curving. Yeah, one thing I will say also is, I don't know. I know that there are some people that are of the mind that you shouldn't have to spin your paper when you're drawing, but I'm sorry. I spin my paper. And now I'm going to use this ruler because I'm not trying to stress myself out to make the line straight in this moment. There we go. Use the tools. But I don't remember what I was saying. I lost my train of thought. The shape, the ruler. Oh, I need to measure this. I need to figure out the length of the body based on, um, again, I started with Precious. You see, I told you you are in the right place. Not rotate or flip. That's ego and gatekeeper nonsense. No, I agree. And this is the thing, y'all. I told y'all I'm primarily a printmaker and I carve, I'm carving on a daily basis. And the thing with carving is I have to flip to be able to achieve some angles, some curves. I have to spin my block constantly. So my head is already programmed to flip my stuff, my tools or whatever, not to flip my paper or all it is. The head size is a good proportional tool. That's what you're saying, Art Walker. Yeah. So and even without thinking about it that way, Art Walker, I inadvertently did that for myself. So I start with whatever the first shape I decide I'm starting with. I start with that shape, and then I try to make everything proportional to that original and in proximity to it, because that's what I'm trying to do is the shapes, that foundation I've put in at fairly accurate proportion and proximity is super helpful to your end. Um, and how you measure it can vary too. You can use the reference and say, oh, the head in the reference is a good. I'll show you. So if I measure from um basically what I put here as the tip to this neck section. So if I measure here, like from there to there, and it's about, y'all, I have to take it away because I can't see this, y'all. I gotta move it from the light. It's about 2 centimeters. Yeah, it's about 2 centimeters. And so now if I measure the length now of what is supposed to be this rectangle part of the body that I'm addressing, it's 3 centimeters. So the ratio is 2 to 3. So now I have to figure out what that one is so I can do the 3. Or I could just, I'm eyeballing a lot of things. Y'all, you know, you can measure this in all kinds of ways. For me, my brain processes stuff that way a lot better. I know that. But like we were talking about before, as part of this, I'm trying to also, in addition to doing it the way I've always done it, or a way that I'm familiar with, or a way that I know my brain processes, is I am going to try to um I am going to try to approach it slightly differently in another when I practice another lizard, or I practice another animal, or whatever it is. I'm just trying to explore a lot of different things, because just because I've done it this way, and just because my brain is processing it this way, because it has for a long time, doesn't mean that that's put I could find an easier way for my brain. So I mean, now I'm rambling, but you get what I'm saying. So 2 to 3. See, I rambled almost to forget what my proportion was. Stepping out of my comfort zone. Exactly. That's why told y'all this. There's so much learning in this process. I really am trying to push myself to, and that's why, not only for you all, I appreciate everyone sharing their perspective, is also for me, because then I can try some of the other approaches and see if maybe that would work for me more. Or even if I feel uncomfortable with it, push myself a little bit, and see. Sorry y'all, I always wait until I'm like super like thirsty before I keep running my mouth, but what I need to do now is I'm, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. Cheat, because immediately the easiest thing for my brain is I'm gonna split this in 2. So now I have a 1. This was a 2 to a 3. So I'm just going to do this now. This is 1. Now y'all, you know that this is not the most accurate thing I'm doing by squeezing my finger together, because you know my finger is gonna move a little bit, but it's practice. It's not perfection. And is this really even half? It's good enough. Let me take the bigger one. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There we go. 2 to 3, y'all. Let's hope that works out. Again, I have to remind myself that I'm not putting too much pressure on myself for this too. All right. Now, let me see. So now here, I'm going to split this up into 2, because what again, I'm doing it this way for my personal thing, because what I'm finding for myself is that when I make the shapes so generic, when I go into my like that next step of refining the sketch, I start freaking myself out, because I get to this place where I'm like, oh, but I don't know where exactly that was supposed to be. And if I added just one additional shape here and there, it would have made it easier for me. So now, from my practice, I've realized that that works better for me. So I'm going to split this up a little bit more. So I'm going to split this into the leg. Is that a leg? Is that what we call that? I'm actually going to split the leg into, oh yeah, so now when I zoom in, this little leg is bent here. So I am actually going to split it into a shape here, which every time I come on here, I know it's a trapezoid, but does it have to be in a certain order? Like, does the smaller edge of the trapezoid, like the shorter edge of the trapezoid, have to be at the top for it to be a trapezoid? Do I call it a trapezoid or an upside down trapezoid? You get the point of what I'm saying. I'm going to do, I suppose I could do a triangle here. and not a trapezoid, but I'm going to do the trapezoid here, and then I'm going to put a circle here because this little leg joint, as I'm practicing this more and more, and actually, as we were talking about the things that could be helpful for me when before I was doing those horses, if y'all were in the room, y'all know I'm Zachariah Page fan. Welcome in. I didn't see you. Um, that will make it easier for me. So I'm going to do a trapezoid, a circle, and then a rectangular thing here, and then whatever, I'll make a triangle thing here for this. Y'all, this is ugly. This chunk of leg works for you. Look at that, y'all. I didn't notice this. This is going to be some really nice detail in here. When you get down here, ooh, y'all, I'm going to do a block shape here, but I'm excited for going into True You too. Thank you for hanging around for a long time. These toes are very long. I'm going to be excited when I'm going into the next phase of the thing and putting in some detail here. Oh, I'm excited about that, y'all. And see, this is progress. When I was drawing those horses, I wasn't that excited. And that was only a couple days ago. Anyway, I'm just gently getting rid of that. So now proportion. I didn't forget this little thing here, y'all. I'm going to put it in. But I'm trying to figure out where's the best place for me to figure out the proportion of that little baby leg there. All right, let's see. Let's just use a ruler. I'm gonna just use a ruler, y'all. Well, cheating or not, I'm using it. It's about one. See this? 1 centimeter. That's wild. Perspective is something else, y'all. I tell you. So this is around. This is going to be the middle of the circle. That's where this measurement here is the middle of the circle. Now I'm gonna eyeball my trapezoid angle. It's a little tiny ways up. And so I'm keeping this line as this is my all the way down line, right? I erased it a little bit, but now I'm like, why did you do that, Leanne? Because you really do need it. I'm using that as my basis there. Yeah, sorry, I'm checking on these folks in. I'm checking on these folks in on the YT over here. I'm gonna take this down just a little bit more. And then I'm gonna, for me, this is a halfway split here. So I'm going to, from here, I'm trying to, in my head, purely use the angle because I don't know, as a beginner, I haven't learned my perspective yet. I already see that this probably, I'll leave it right there for now, and then maybe I can, this will be the little knee joint. Well, I should make it smaller. Leave it, leave it. All right, walk. I'm trying to do that. I'm not ready to be doing something like using ink for this, but I'm trying not to erase as much. I'm trying not to erase as much. Not that I'm doing a good job of that, but I'm trying not to erase as much. This is a little bigger than I want it to be, so I'm going to just take it down a little bit and I'll leave the bigger one there. There's no need for me to erase it. So then this angle turns up a little bit. Oh, you know, I didn't. Let me measure the whole length of this, y'all. I'm measuring the length of the whole lizard so I can have an endpoint for this thing here, right there. The toes are long, so they'll go further. Oh, you know what? You know what I forgot to do, y'all? I measured earlier and I don't remember if I had zoomed in my original measurement. Yeah, I did. So my measurement might be a little bit off. Let me see if I can find my correct zoom. Yeah, that's about it. Now, oh, I'm not too far off there. Good. Now I can measure this. If you do not know what I'm talking about, feel free to ask me. Or if you don't care, you don't have to ask. 5. We said this was 3, and that's 1. So this one is just the end of the body is the same here. This is where we ended. Yeah, this looks wrong to me, but I will fix it in the next round. That definitely looks wrong because this is almost the full length of that first part. It is wrong, 2.5. So it needs to come here. That's where it is. Hey, Maximalist, how are you? Foreshortening. That is the word when I said the thing about perspective, but I haven't learned it yet. I'm a beginner. I haven't learned it yet, so I have to just do it based on shapes. Use 2 circles where? I'm good, Maximalist. I'm trying not to stress myself out about the lizard. We're in iguana mode. One for the hip and one for the knee. Oh, here. Is that the hip? A circle here because of this. Is that what you're saying? I think that's what you're saying. Okay. That will help me get this curve right here. Joints, y'all. See, Art Walker studies the anatomy. Well, Agony Prime too. But I haven't gotten into the anatomy yet. I'm shaping it, y'all. I'm just literally looking at the shapes. So I haven't studied the anatomy. However, when I talk about taking the advice of other folks and also pursuing that path, I'm definitely doing that because I already realized a little bit of touching on that I've been recommended, and also that I've just started to take a little bit more of a look at like anatomy. I already see the difference in my head. I'm like, I can only process things this one way, but when I start looking at the specific anatomy, um even in this short time that I've like glanced at stuff, I already see how my brain could process it that way more easily. I'm just reminding y'all there are so many ways to look at it, and keep yourself I'm trying to keep myself open. Ghost Girl, welcome in. Pharaoh Mom, did I say hello? Did I say good morning, Pharaoh Mom? Good morning. Maximalist and Pharaoh Mom, thank you for getting your heart means. Um, Pharaoh Mom, how are you doing? I feel like I haven't seen you in a couple days. That could be a lie, but wait. I was busy thinking about See, I just did it. I just I just did what I said I wasn't supposed to. I was not supposed to erase. I was supposed to try to leave my marks. And now I need to flip the paper so I can get this angle properly. So here, I need to get that. So now I'm using this is my baseline that I have here. So I'm now going to figure out what direction to take this. And for me, it's going that way. See, I was totally putting it the wrong way. Um, mm, that looks, oh, you know what? I need to figure out how long that is. One, two, the eyeball right there. I think I'm going to put a little circle back here too. So if this is the hip and this is the knee, is this the ankle? Is this the ankle? The shin. Y'all, I can't. So I'm not addressing these little baby finger things, toes, whatever these are. Well, what's the ankle if that's the shin? No, this is the shin. Knee, shin, this I mean. Is this the ankle? Art walk. You are the one that started this. You are the one that you've been in here enough times to know that this is the road we would have gone down if you start doing that. Oh, Agony's not in here anymore. I was gonna say Agony doesn't bother because then I start overthinking it and I'm like, wait, is that the this? Is that the that? Hey Carol, good morning. Is that the this? Is that the that? Ah, good morning. Listen to you auditioning. That's exciting. Yeah, Carol is a voice actor, and I think I've said this in the room before, probably with Carol in here, but yeah, I am very excited because I am planning to very seriously go down the voice actor road. No, the ankle is right at the bottom near to the curly toes. Here? Oh. See y'all? This is what I'm saying. I am actually going to try to study the anatomy stuff. You said successfully and you can't wait to do it and grow together. Yeah, I'm excited, Carol. So yeah, I'm gonna be voice acting. Maybe one day in the future y'all will hear a commercial and say, hmm, that sounds like Leanne. And it just might be me. It will be me. And well, frankly, I'll just tell y'all. Y'all, I did a commercial. I can't won't be able to hold that. Oh, now see, I'm obsessed now. I need to do the horse anatomy. Now I need to do these lizards because how would I have thought that the ankles are down, the ankle is down here. Oh, is that is disturbing to me somehow. All right, I'm just going to put this tail shape thing here. This little curve that's here, I'll get that on the like the refining. But Yeah, I'm like, this feels like I'm gonna have one heck of a job on the refining part. Because I do think that I need to make these longer. Because I think this is supposed to be. It's going to end up being longer because of those long toes. But let's see. I don't want to make it too long because you can see it here. This is not that much longer than this. Yeah, I see it. Constantly looking at the reference, y'all. I'm going to do it that way. Oh, I didn't need to erase it. That way. And leave it there. So we have now a robot. You said you went to a work meeting and you missed the progress. Thigh, knee, shin, and then ankle. Thigh, knee, shin, and then ankle. Hip, thigh, knee, shin. Yeah. You mean like a person's body? Or what? You're like a person's body. Okay. Now, yeah, oh, precious, you're good. We'll when I finish this one, I'm gonna go on to a harder one. Thank you for the corgi, Carol. Thank you, Art Walker. My robot um lizard looks fairly good. I mean, really, the good is the proportions look like I might end up in a decent place when I refine the sketch. Um, the shapes look fairly decent. Wait, now I need to figure out this. Okay, so now you see, before I was thinking, oh, let me drop a triangle in here. But I'm gonna go with my hinges. And I'm gonna do whatever this is, and then a circle, and then a this. Because this is the elbow. Agony, are you going to make the lizard into a robot? Oh, this is exciting. Are you going to go live after this? Wait, I need to watch my time, y'all. You are. Okay, y'all. We do this. I know, Art Walker, I know, cylinders and spheres, but at my learning step, I haven't done my volume shapes learning yet. I haven't done my volume shapes learning yet. But you know what, Art Walker, I have to say, in the as we've been going down the animal road and y'all have been giving me these tips, what I've realized is I need to skip to that part of the curriculum that I created already and do it so that when I come into this now, I'm not doing the flat shapes anymore. And I think that's what I'm realizing is as much as I want to go deep with the practice on each thing, I do not think I need to be doing the flat shapes anymore. I think I am ready to move on to the cylinders. Oh, Carol, thank you, because I think you finished out the fluffy heart goal. Thank you. And it just reset itself. That's awesome. I have the three goals. So, as you're saying that, and I'm even saying to you, yeah, Art Walker. And because before now, it was fine what I was doing because I was in this, I'm such a beginner. The only thing I can identify is these basic flat shapes. But as we are going into the animals, and when I'm doing building facades and stuff, yes, what was happening is, and I was if I think about like even this one, right? I started with the basic flat shapes, but the detail that I then added in the refining was more. This is still a building, so it's a little bit different, but it's like truly, if I was a beginner, the refining wouldn't have gone from those basic shapes to that much detail, right? Anyway, I'm talking all the thing in my head, but the where I've landed is precious, and this is actually to your. It's like you came in on the right day, because I think the more that I'm doing this and we're walking through that, I do need to now start my brain going in the 3D thinking way and using the volume shapes instead. I am going to do the practice of the volume shapes next. So, tomorrow morning, y'all. No, not tomorrow morning. Tomorrow night. Tomorrow is Thursday, and on Thursdays I do the drawing practice at night. In the morning, I'll be. Y'all, guess what I'm gonna be doing tomorrow morning? We're gonna be printing. We're not even going to carve. We're going to be printing, y'all. So we are going to be in the garage. So that's going to be an interesting setup. It's going to be different. But in the night, I'm gonna do some volume shape practice, and then we'll approach the other lizards with the 3D volume shapes. All right, Art Walker, thank you as always for hanging out, um, for and for all the input. I appreciate you. Okay, y'all, that I feel good about that. Um, let me figure out where I'm dropping this thing here. Yeah, I'm eyeballing this because I'm already like I'll fix it if I need to at some other point. Cause I'm already like I don't feel like processing. You know, when I get down to I only have 5 minutes left, I don't feel like processing certain things. All right, so wait, Agony, did you tell me that you were going? Oh, or did you say you're going live after this? So yeah, Agony is drawing this lizard as a robot lizard. Um, so you all see the reference. So if you want to drop into Agony's going to go live after, you'll be able to see the robot, the lizard as a robot. It's actually a pretty cool thing that happens sometimes. You said you staring at your not fully round circle. Precious. Precious. Let me give you some context, right? In terms of if you feel like you're getting into this into this uh into this place where you're doing some comparison stuff. Hello, Ali Modes Art. Precious. I told you before. I am 46 years old. I got an art degree when that's 24 years ago, 25 years ago. I've been drawing like formal art lessons drawing since I was 14. That's 32 years of drawing circles, friend. And my circles still aren't fully round. Perfect. Stop being so hard on yourself. You know what you do? Practice your circles. Precious. Another thing. Remember, you know this. Remember, you can draw from your shoulder, you can draw from your elbow, you can draw from your wrist. When you loosen yourself up, you practice your circles. Do not you that is hey Jen, good morning. Thank you for getting your heart. Did I say hello to you, Allison? You said a nice old hi, and I don't even remember if I said hello to you. Stop. You those things are not allowed in this room. Okay? There's a man on here named Wilson that paints from his mouth. See? So do not, no being hard on yourself here, my friend. Um, woo, Jen, 100 days. Jen, that's really good because 100 days is over 2 months. Oh, everybody knows about Wilson except me. Now I gotta go find Wilson. Oh, car 37. Yeah, this 100. Oh, Jen, you're like, it's 3 months, Leanne. Do the calculation. I'm like, what? Yes, 3 months and 10 days. So that's like, I started going live daily. I mean, I was going live every like other day for a couple of months, but in November. You've been with me since even before that, Jen. Look at that. Did I do the cheers? Let's do it again. Thank you, Jen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now I gotta go look for Be Easy said, see, I'm 42. I never had any art school, so it's never too late to start. Precious isn't giving up, y'all. But what I want Precious to remember is, what did I say earlier? Compare yourself to yourself. What does your circle look like today versus last week versus the week before? Practice. Maximalist. You said you wanted to go to art school, but you have a BS in public government affairs instead. There you go. And guess who now? Now, maximalist. I know you're gonna say things like you don't really get to be creative, but you are a creative in your 9 to 5. See, y'all, lots of different things show up in here. Great circle advice. Our audience is the one who decides whose pepperoni pizza is the best, not the makers. Don't say that, maximalist. You did go back for design. I'm only teasing. I'm like, don't say that. Keep that to yourself for the plot. I'm only joking, y'all. You all know the point of what I'm saying. Anyway, Precious, practice your circles, and your circles will get better. And your circles will get to where you want them to be. Let's put it that way, right? Because Precious, did you leave us when I was preaching? Oh, I'm like, I see it says you came back in, and I'm like, did you leave and I was running my mouth talking to you? But you clearly heard me. Whether you were in the room or not, you heard me. You were in the hallway. That's all right. I was teasing but not, because I was like, wait, Precious just came in and I did this whole spiel. Anyway, you get the point. You know, it's the same thing we've been saying. You practice your circles, and your circles will be where you want them to be. And now, Precious, you look what you did. You made the energy of the room move in the direction of the next thing that I'm going to practice, and boringly, in a boring, tedious way, is going to be volume shapes. So the folks that are in the room on a regular basis, just be prepared that we are going to be practicing volume shapes tediously for a while. Because between Precious mentioning it, Agony, um, Art Walker, and when Dead Doll was in here with the horses, I think I realized that it's time for me to stop trying to be as basic as I was, because I did practice the flat shapes, and it's time for me to go to volume now. I know I that's another thing that I have to pay attention to. I am trying to go deep in one practice, but I also need to recognize the time when it's time to move on to the next thing and not beat a dead horse. So volume shapes are next, y'all. And you see that I'm not doing anything here because I'm ready. Rocky, I'm about to get off. I'm ready to go. I didn't even notice that you were gone. You said not. That's how I was like, a dead horse. Oh, Rocky, come on, Rocky. You can't be gone for so long. Then ask what you miss. You know that the tide shifts in here every 10 minutes. The tide shifts in here every 10 minutes. We can't keep. I don't remember what you missed. You missed 700 things in the time you were gone. Come on now. You know that's how it works in here. Um, y'all, we had a good time. I need to stop saying that. Y'all, sometimes so on the YT, the people, this person just sent me a kissy face. Hello. Oh, they're not in the room anymore. You said I was just yelling at people. I wasn't yelling. Pearl, welcome in while I yell. Precious, I hope you don't feel like I'm yelling at you. Hey, Grace, good morning. Thank you. Pen. Oh, Grace, you just leveled up. Level 19. Pen, Avani. We are on the same page, be easy. Precious, please. I hope you don't feel like I was yelling at you. Y'all, I get it. We gotta ease Precious into our drama. Precious, they're instigating, talking about I'm just yelling at people. I think I think Precious is okay. Precious stuck around this whole time. Precious isn't phased by us. All right, y'all.